Hey everyone, Sampath here. Over the past few episodes, we have reviewed the individual instruments that I've chosen for my own astrophotography gear. Today we are going to bring it all together and complete the entire setup. Before we dive in, I wanted to take a moment and say thank you for all of your incredible support. We have hit a milestone of 15,000 subscribers just in 4 months, and I could have not done without your enthusiasm and engagement. So thank you again. If you're new here, welcome. Please check out the content, and if you enjoy it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get started. Okay, here's the final setup I have for my astrophotography gear. So for the mount, I'm using the Skywatcher AZ EQ6 Pro. The telescope is Celestron Edge HT 9.25 inch, camera ASI 2600 MC Duo. For auto guiding, I'm going to go with the Celestron off-axis guider combined with the ZWO ASI 174 Mini. You may ask, like, why do you have MCDO? Why do you need additionally the off-axis guider? In theory, it is not needed. I am actually keeping the setup as it is because I am like something transferred from my existing telescope to here. So I'm just going to leave it there. For focus, Pegasus Astro Focus Cube 0, and then for power, I'm using the Pegasus Astro Pocket Power Box. That actually provides all of the power supply to all of the devices. And for centralized control and controlling the telescope in a remote way, I'm going to be using the Melee Overclocks 4C Mini PC. So for dew control, I'm using the Celestron Dew Heater Ring. Good thing about the power box is you do not need to spend additional dollars for dew controllers. It comes along with it, so it's an integrated control system. So dew heater can be controlled using that itself. So on the left, you're seeing the final setup here. So the mount itself, the Skywatcher AZ EQ6, and the USB port over here is connected to the Melee Overclock 4C Mini PC, and the cable for this is the cable for the controller, and I have connected the auto guider cable to the ASI 174 Mini. So this is the setup for what I have for the mount. So let's talk about the camera. So this is the camera, which is ASI 2600 MC Duo. And if you look at here, it's not clearly visible in the picture, but the cable for the USB port is connected to the Melee PC. It's not going through any of the hubs. I wanted to connect it directly to the PCs to avoid any signal losses. So I would suggest you guys to do the same thing. And the power for the camera is coming from the power box. So that's the way it's been connected now. And coming to the guiding, the ASI 174 Mini. So the auto guider cable is going to the mount, and the data is actually connected to the PC. Okay, and next is the focuser. So you have the focuser USB port again connected to the PC, and then there is a temperature sensor hanging over here. So that's something that I've covered it in the previous session, so no need to go in detail on that. And then the power for this focus cube is also coming from the power box. And on this section here, you will see the power box. One thing I wanted to call out here is the attachment of the Melee PC. I was trying hard to actually connect it over to the last mandate mount, but there was no way the last mandate mount it can't connect it. So I had to actually look for options. Luckily, one of the person actually created a 3D printer model for that. So I was able to download, print it, and then it worked seamlessly, and that's actually great. I'll leave the link to that in the description. If you are going to use a similar setup, you may want to actually just do a 3D print of that alone. I don't think it is available in the market anywhere. On the top, obviously, this is the Melee PC. So this is something I'm going to be utilizing to connect remotely and then control the telescope. Obviously, my area is really gets cold in December, so I cannot be outside, and this is a great setup for me. Good thing about the Melee PC is it is very small. In the picture, it's not clearly probably visible. It's just palm size, and it's not heavy, and it is something very suitable for the astronomy. So if you're looking for alternative to ASI Air, this is something that I would recommend you guys to actually go with it. What I did, one change in that is the overclock 4C actually comes with 256 EMC and as well as the 256 NVMe drives. So I had to actually remove the 256 NVMe drives and then replace with 1 terabyte. I know the camera is going to actually spit out like huge amount of files, so I just want to have a sufficient space. So that's all the overall setup per se I have, and how I actually brought it up together. And so the next thing is for me, we update the firmware and install the required softwares in it. Okay, I've remotely logged into this Melee PC machine from another device, and I'm using that device for recording this session. I have formatted this machine. Nothing is there. It's a pretty recent Windows 11 Pro installation. So let's go and actually install all of the required software, whatever we need for the astrophotography session. So let's start with the firmware upgrades. So let's start with the mount. I am going to actually update the motor controller firmware and the hand controller firmware. So why we need to do this? Motor controller firmwares control your array axis movement and as well as the declination axis movement. So any recent release of the firmwares and fixes, it's better to have it before you start any astrophotography session on this one. Hand controller updates update your database also, and also any fixes that they have recently released for that. Let's start with the motor controller. So to do so, first go to the support in skywatcher.com and then look at the software and firmware section. That will bring you to this page, and click on the motor controllers and look for the motor controller firmware loader. So there's two things there. One is a loader, which is a Windows program, helps you to actually install the firmware and maintains the connectivity to the mount. The second thing is the firmware itself. So you have to download two different things in order to finish the setup. So for me, I'm using the Skywatcher AZ Equi6. So it's a go-to mount. So this is the appropriate one for me. So if you are using different version of Skywatcher mounts, so be sure to check it out before you download it. Example here, they have different firmware loader for Wi-Fi version of the mount. So focus on what you're downloading for that. So let's click on the download here, and I've already downloaded it before. So when you unzip the file, so this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a loader manual, and then you're going to see the firmware application itself. So click on it, and then it should bring up this UI for you to do the update. So before you actually do anything, first actually check the existing firmware version. So let's go and click on it. What I have done is I've taken the USB cable from the mount, and then I've connected to the PC. Okay, so right now I have the version of 3.14.22. So let's go back to the site and then look for the firmware. So here, as you scroll through, best way is just search for your mount model, and it brings you to the first one. This seems to be the appropriate one for me. So my mount comes with a built-in USB support, but if you are actually in EQ5 or older mounts, there is different model without the USB support. So look for the right firmware version before you do anything. So click on download of that, and that should actually download the file, and go to the folder in downloads and extract the firmware. Okay, so you'll see here there is two versions that are available. There is a release note also. Take a look at it and then see what fixes that has been done. And so let's go and actually update the firmware. So first select the firmware that you have downloaded, click on browse, and go to the downloads path, paste it, open it. You can see there are two versions, right? So in the side we saw they released a 3.39 version on 9/12/2022, and we know the version that we have is 2.22. So that is something that we can go and update it. Let's do that. Obviously this is going to take some time, so I'm going to pause the recording and then I will actually start sharing again. So once the firmware update is complete, you need to turn off the power. So let's go and do that. After you have actually turned on the mount, check the version again just to make sure that the version is actually the latest one. So as you can see, now it is updated. So this completes the motor controller firmware update. So let's go and look at the next one, which is the Syscan. So for that, go back to the site and look for the controller that you have. V4 and V5 hand controllers come with a USB port. V3 hand controllers, they don't come with a USB port. So depending on what you have, so choose the correct version of the firmware to download. So in my case, I have the V4, so I think V5, so I'm not sure. So let's go and download that first and then do the firmware update. So there is an instruction manual, so click on download, you can read through that, and there is again a firmware loader, so you can download that. And so here in this case, I have the hand controller for GoTo mounts. This is common. So there is previous version is also there just for reference. So let's just choose this recent one, which is the 6.03. Let's go and download that. Okay. So in downloads, let's extract the zip files. So to do the update, first actually press the 0 and 8, connect the cable, and also connect the USB port to the handset like this. So I'm connecting the other end to the camera USB hub, so that's okay. So let's go and actually look at the computer and fix the firmware. Let's go and open the Syscan firmware loader, and let's first check the current firmware version. That also helps you to check the connectivity. So there you go, you have the hardware 6.00 right now, and database version is 4.05. So let's go and actually select the recent firmware that we downloaded. That's there in the downloads folder. So let me get the path. So here, copy the path and select it and click on update. This will take some time, so let's check back in a minute. After the update completes, unplug the USB cable and as well as the connection from the mount to the handset. Both the cables, remove it and then replug it again and set it back to the update mode. So let's go and actually open the Syscan firmware loader and then check the version again. So as you can see, the updates have been applied and everything is good to go. Next thing that you need for your mount is the ASCOM driver. This allows your mount to be able to control from your PC using the ASCOM. So before you can install the driver, you need to have the ASCOM installation complete. As I said before, my PC is very new, so I have not done any of it. Let's go and actually download this and install that. So let me go to the downloads folder and start the installation. So as you can see, it's asking us to have the .NET Framework 3.5 Service Pack 1. It will install it by adding the feature in the Windows. After the installation is complete, you'll get a message, press any key to continue, and after that you can go and actually continue with the rest of the steps. So all you need is the default for now, and if anything needed, you can actually add that later also. So let's go and install the ASCOM platform. Okay, ASCOM installation completed successfully. So let's click on finish. Next thing that you need in order to control the mount from your device is to download the EQMod software. So search for EQMod and it will take you to the sourceforge.net. So under the downloads, click on the link for SourceForge and then it will take you to this page. So you don't want the ASCOM pad. What you really need is the EQ ASCOM. Click on that folder. Again, don't click on this download latest version. So click on the specific setup, which is the EQ ASCOM v200w setup.exe. As of this recording, this is the most recent one. So I'm going to download that into my PC. I did that already, so it's right here, and let me open up and go through that process. So you don't need to install this. You can install the source files, that's also okay. So it completes really quick. No need to really view the release notes or the PDF file, so click on finish, and after that search for ASCOM device hub, and then this window will appear. So by default you will see a simulator instead. Previously I tried, that's why it's showing up EQMod telescope. So first thing that you do is go to tools, setup, and then in telescope setup, click on choose, and in the drop down choose the one that is ASCOM HEQ5R6. So first time when you do it, you will be asked to set the properties, and I've done it already, so I'm going to show you guys again few things that you need to set up here for it to work. So mount option, set it up to auto detect. Timeout, choose it to 2000. Retry, set it to 2, and then the baud rate as 115,200. So COM port, you need to know what COM port that you have to use. In order to actually get that COM port, click on Start menu and then search for Device Manager. And here under ports, you will see Prolific PL230GL USB serial COM port COM5. Now, sometimes this device actually comes under other devices with this marked something like this. That means that Windows has not picked up the driver properly. If that happens, go to the Skywatcher's site and there is the Windows driver Prolific USB to serial device driver available. You can click on download and then install it. In my case, I didn't have that problem, but if you do, there is a way to actually overcome that using this page. Okay, let's get back to the setup that we were in. So here it is connecting through COM5. So that is the COM5 port that you have to select here. And next is set up the latitude and longitude values according to your location, and elevation also you can set it up. It is in meters, so just set the proper values, and rest of it you can actually leave it with the defaults. So click OK, and then let's go back to the setup and then click OK. And now you can click on choose and choose the EQ 5 or 6, click OK, and then click OK. And now you can click on connect telescope. So I'm going to close this, and as you can see here, this little window pops up. Don't try to use these controls, rather try to actually click on the small buttons here. By default it is 16x or 64x. So I'm just going to choose the 2 degree per second and click on north, so I can hear my mount moving. So that means that your setup is correct and complete. Okay, once this is set up in ASCOM Device Hub, that means that it is available from any other application that is using ASCOM as a means to connect to all the devices. So that completes the setup for your mount. So just to recap, what we did is we went and actually updated the motor controller firmware. Sorry, not this one. Motor controllers firmware we updated. We also updated the Syscan hand controller firmware, and then we installed the ASCOM driver. First we installed the ASCOM software, and then the EQ mod, and also the Prolific USB driver if you have problem. And after that you make the settings as we discussed earlier, and that should actually help you guys to set up the whole process for being able to connect to your mount from your PC. Now let's focus on setting up the Zuo cameras that we have. As you can see, if you can go to the device manager, and you are going to see them actually under not recognized. Let me show you guys again. So all of them are not recognized right now. That's because the drivers required for them are not installed. So the way to actually install them is just go to the Zuo ZW Astro, and under software section you'll find that. So go here First, let's install the camera driver. You'll see those devices pop up. Click on finish. Then also you need the ASCOM driver. So let's install that also. So for this setup to work, you need to have the ASCOM platform installed, which we did it already. So that's great. Click on finish. After you have installed the drivers, go and check in the device manager. So you should see those devices listed under imaging devices. So now everything shows up here properly. There is a section for firmware upgrade tool here. You do not need to do it, as they have said it clearly. Firmware update is not necessary if they are working fine. So let's also download the ASI Studio. I don't necessarily plan to use it, but just to show you guys whether it is working fine or not, we can test it right now using the ASI Studio. So let's do that. So here, if you look at ASI Capture, click on open it, and then you can select the camera that you want to connect to. It's showing up blank or black because there's nothing, it's not pointed to any other specific object, and the telescope is also closed. So but you can test it in this way, that's fine. As long as you're able to connect and the software is showing something, you're good to go on the Zuok cameras. So that's completes the camera section of all the installation. Next part of the setup is Pegasus Astro softwares. This is also to make sure the firmwares are up to date. Pegasus controls all of their devices through Unity platform. I've done a video about this in a different YouTube video, so check this out. But for now, let's go and download this. So open the file. Agree to the terms. Click on finish. Then look for Pegasus Astro Unity platform. Good thing is, once you install the Unity platform, all required ASCOM drivers are already there as part of this installation. You don't have to install separately for this. So I'm waiting for that to open up. There you go. So as you can see, it automatically detected the devices that we have connected to the setup. So I had the focus cube 0 and as well as the power box. If you go back to configuration, so you'll see updates, and then let me go to the firmware manager, and you can see that there is firmware update available. So since the time that I made the video, it seems like they have launched some of the updates. So let's go and do that. Then let's go back again, application, and click on upgrade of the second device. Alright, and let's close the Unity platform, open it again to check everything has installed properly. Yep, click on application configuration, firmware manager. Yeah, so current version is the same. So the version that is installed is 2.123, and this is the same version, so we are okay with the Pegasus Astro related devices also. Okay, so that completes the Pegasus side of the installation. So to check it out, you can go to the let's take example of Focus Cube 0, and you should be able to move it up and focus in or focus out. So I can hear the sound, it is working just fine. Let's go to the menu again, and let's see the power box. So it is fine. It's showing the temperature, it's showing the power metrics, so everything seems to be just fine. That completes the setup for Pegasus Astro devices also. Next thing is the important softwares that you need. There's various options you have. I plan to use SharpCap and FireCapture. So SharpCap actually allows you to do the imaging capture. It works very well with all of the Zoom cameras also. So let's go and download the latest version and install it. I want to make a note, SharpCap has a pro version, and I think the cost is around $18 per year for upgrading, so it's worth doing it. So try it out. So let's install it. And let's launch it. Click OK. So as you can see, it has detected the cameras here. You can click on one of the camera to bring up the window and just to check everything is fine. And I know there's nothing will show up because I have not pointed the camera to anything, so that's fine. But you could connect to multiple cameras and or the ASCOM cameras, whatever you need to connect. So this is done. So let's go to the next one, which is the FireCapture. This is very good for if you're trying to shoot at the planets. So under the downloads, click on the latest version. I'm on Windows. So answer the question and click on download. Firecapture does not have an installer. You have to extract the zip file, save it in a folder, and then use it from there. So inside it, you have all of the files, and the exe is Firecapture. So click on it, and it should run the application. So you can take a guide and we'll walk you through the steps. And just choose the defaults and then complete it. So it's showing you a default view, and you can actually check it out a bit later. You can choose the cameras and everything. I will do a video after completing all of this, but for now I'm going to close the software. So take this folder, cut it, and create a new folder here and move it over there. Then just right click, send it to desktop and create a shortcut. Okay, so that completes the whole process. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and it gave you enough insight into setting up all of the required software on a brand new machine. There's more to actually do. We have to calibrate the cameras and we have to calibrate the key mount, and those things will come up in the next video. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, have a great day and clear skies. Bye.